3 is a middleweight contest of 3 2-minute rounds between, in the red corner representing Western Counties, Joe Smith, and in the blue corner representing the Royal Navy, Liam Short. Short in the blue, Smith in the red.
So here we go with the third contest on the card tonight. So it's Joe Smith from Tavern ABC against Liam Short for the Navy. This is a middleweight, and immediately it's Smith on the offensive. Now a chance for Short to reply for the Royal Navy, but Smith again going downstairs and then catching a good left hand from the Navy man as he made his way in. So just have to be a little bit more cautious, and the southpaw stance from the Navy man already beginning to just give Smith a little bit of trouble, and something to think about. That ramrod left is hitting the target quite frequently in the early moments.
Yeah, it's a great scoring shot, Nigel, because it can be seen from all sides of the ring. It's got
in fact, the right jab isn't doing too bad either.
Absolutely. What we've got at the moment, which will try and get Joe to settle in and to try and work the southpaw out. He needs to move left, right hand, left hook, like that, similarly. And I think we'll be right back in this, maybe.
Yep, so initial enthusiasm from Joe Smith, somewhat dampened by the response from Liam Short, and Short there just almost roughhouses him out of the way, turns him round. But back comes Joe Smith nicely with a combination there that sent the Navy man just back on his heels for a moment. So good response by Joe Smith. Liam Short, as you said, the southpaw stance in the blue for the Royal Navy, just steps out of the way of Smith as he comes in, turns him nicely and back on with that jab flashing out, and then follows up with that left hand again. Very potent weapon indeed. Again, the pace just slackens off a little bit at the end of that round, and that's an interesting opening in that middleweight contest. Joe Smith against Liam Short. What did you make of that, Craig?
Well, at this stage, I fancy that Joe was a little bit stumped with the southpaw style coming there from Liam. Liam, an aircraft engineer, working with the Fleet Air Arm and the Royal Navy, and has been in the Royal Navy for 5 years. But very stylish boxer, good upright southpaw. I think Russ Harper, though, will be telling his charge now in Smith's corner to move left, right hand, left hook, and try and upset Liam's rhythm.
But Liam Short, he's very smooth action he's got, isn't he? The jab is very fluent, and that left hand, as we pointed out, just a very potent weapon indeed if you don't keep your eyes open.
If you can cultivate a good jab, you're going to be a very good amateur boxer, because it's a point-scoring game. The front hand being nearest to the target, it makes it obvious for the judges to see that as well.
Yeah. So here we are, round number 2, and having turned his man, Short straight back on the offensive again. Beautiful stuff from him. Back comes Smith looking to get inside, but again that classic jab followed by the left hand from the Navy man. Hits the scoring area. Again, jab, just range finding from Short. Caught one as he came in, then right hand almost slap on the head guard of Joe Smith. It's just calmed down again in the middle period of the round. Smith going for the body there, trying to just bring the hands down. So you can almost see both of them trying to think their way into this bout and trying to work out how they can find an opening, how they can manoeuvre an opening and move their opponent into position to land the scoring shots. At the moment, Short perhaps having a bit more success in that department, but good effort by Joe Smith still, just a little bit tangled up. A little a little bit too smart on the back into the action after the break. That right hand parried nicely by the gloves of Short. Again, the Navy man turns away from his opponent. Certainly the tidier of the two is Liam Short, but you can't fault Joe Smith for the effort he's putting into this so far. But again, the round ends with Short perhaps on the ascendancy, just landing one or two more shots than his opponent.
Yeah, very much so. I think at this stage, Joe has just fallen victim to the southpaw jinx. Very difficult to work out, but he is listening to the corner. He is throwing the straight right hand. He's trying to move to the left. You can see Russ Harper now indicating to throw the right hand. The Navy man is open to the body. So if you're trying to bring the right hand to the body, left hook to the chin, well, you never know what still might happen.
Yeah. So at the moment, Liam Short looking to make it 2-1 to the Navy in the match. Just 4 scoring bouts in the match between the Western Counties and the Royal Navy. So this is a crucial contest in the overall score to see which of the two teams can sneak in front with 1 to go. Again now Short throwing the jab, but back comes Smith, who's just being a lot more aggressive, throwing that right hand there, whips across the face of Liam Short. Short throwing out the jab again to keep him at bay, and then follows up with a good left hand again. So what can Joe Smith pull out of the bag in this final round? He's certainly showing intent to go forward, but Short is nimble enough of foot to step out of the way when he can. There's a swinging right hand from Smith that partially landed, but Short surely knows that all he's really got to do is box in this round, and he's going to see it out for a victory.
That's right. The Royal Navy coach would have told him to play it cute. You know, just keep your nose in front. Don't do anything silly. But as I say, credit to Joe Smith. He's got to go for broke now, and he is trying with that right hand because that will work with the southpaw. There'll be another day, but like I say, can go out on his shield in this one, I believe.
Yeah. So Short relying on the classic boxing style, albeit the classic southpaw boxing style, to keep himself in front, and then as he stepped away, landed another left hand. And they just have another clinch in the middle of the ring. Good stuff by Short, still keeping up the pace. And Smith looking a bit tired now, and is suffering as a result. And not a lot he can do to keep Short at bay. Both breathing quite heavily. Smith particularly heavily right at the end, sinks to his knees. Certainly put a lot of effort in there, and perhaps he'll feel he perhaps didn't get the reward for the effort.
That's right. I mean, we're at novice level. I mean, the Navy man's had 11 and 1-4 bouts. So, you know, at novice level, it's all about the learning curve. And these guys could box, you know, maybe 20, 25 times a season. So you're only as good as your last one. And that was a good effort there from Joe. Nothing to be ashamed of. That was a very good try with a difficult opponent.
Yeah, and once again, thanks to Craig. Let's see what the judges made of it.
Gentlemen, result bout number 3, unanimous decision to Short in the blue corner.
Thank you, Chris. If the boxers like to come down and have their prizes presented, please, by